Hi to all the beautiful warriors watching this. My name's Anita. Before I get into this video, I just wanted to say a very big, huge, enormous thank you to everybody who watched my very first video. And for those of you who just clicked on it, who watched it, even if it was for a minute, and liking and commenting, it means the world to me. Thank you so much. I've met some amazing people um, after posting that video, and they've shared their story, and it's really helped me progress and helped me with my healing. Thank you so much. I'll get right into it with this video. I'm going to be talking about my experience with dating and relationships whilst having social anxiety and the very low self-esteem. Basically, I've only been in one relationship, and this was 5 years ago, and it lasted 2 years. Basically, people might be wondering how I even met this person, with the social anxiety. Um, okay, so basically, I was randomly at my cousin's house because I went only because to show respect, or else I wouldn't have gone. But on that night as well, my cousin's friend was there, and I got introduced to him. But I knew I had a little mini crush on this person because I liked the way he was talking with everyone, and I think it was just attraction. And so that night I went home and I was like, I I don't want to like keep letting social anxiety control my life. So I was like, what can I do to progress this into something bigger? So I was like, I'm just going to add him on Facebook and see what happens. And so I did. And he messaged me, thankfully, and we just kept talking online. Eventually, he asked me out on a date. And throughout the dates and the initial part of the relationship, I pretended like I didn't have social anxiety, and it worked. So thank goodness I have a little bit of acting skills. Um, but the thing is, eventually I had to tell him, only because I also did really one wrong thing. I kept lying at the beginning, saying I had friends when I actually didn't. Basically, he would be like, "Oh, what's your plan for the weekend?" I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go out with some friends." And I obviously couldn't keep up with the lying. It was just horrible what I was doing. So I just sat down with him one day and I was like, "Look, I don't have any friends. I was lying to you. I'm sorry." And I also have social anxiety, which is why I've been saying no to everything he was like asking me to go, go to places, go to meet his friends. I said no to everything. And look, he couldn't relate to it, but he really supported me, and that's why I was lucky that I had a very supportive boyfriend. Um, so yeah, if he wasn't supportive, I don't know how it would have gone down. But yeah, so majority the how the social anxiety affected the relationship was basically we couldn't enjoy the relationship as much as we could have. Basically, a lot of time was spent at home. Um, and the only places we would go was to eat in restaurants, or the occasional the occasional, yeah, we would go to the restaurants or the occasional movie. And I would only go to the movies for him so he wouldn't get bored, but I'm pretty sure he got bored towards the end because it was just like he was just visiting my house all the time. And I also hated going to his house because I had to socialize with his family. So yeah, that was pretty much um, how. Yeah, and also like there was no. I didn't meet his friends. There was no double dating on, and no going to events and stuff. But the thing is, he was a very social person, so he still went with his friends to all these places. But I would literally be at home, I guess, waiting for him to come back, because I had nothing else to do, and that was really hard because I was just wasting hours waiting for him. Um, yeah, but that's pretty much how social anxiety affected the relationship. Um, and how it affects me now in terms of dating is there is no dating whatsoever in my life right now. It's just out of, I don't even think about it because that part I've just got rid of because I don't see it happening as well. So yeah, it's just not on my mind, and so I don't think about it, and so I don't worry about it. Um, okay, now I'm gonna just talk about how my low self-esteem affected my relationship because it affected my relationship way more than the social anxiety. Um, this might be uncomfortable, but I'm just gonna mention this. One of the things was, sorry if this is weird, but when it came to sex, obviously, you know, you're in a relationship, that kind of stuff you need to do. Um, it was a struggle for me. I never enjoyed it because, look, I may look skinny, but the thing is, all my fat is here. I am very good at hiding it. Basically, when it came to sex, I used this arm to hide my belly all the time. So each time I would take off my clothes, this arm went here. It just became a habit like that. Um, and he at the start was very like, I guess, weird about it, but then eventually he got used to it. And the other thing is, he has never seen my backside, um, and that's because I am so self-conscious about it because of the amount of ridiculous society standards there are now about the butt, the glutes and stuff. I was just like, no way am I gonna show him because he's just gonna judge. That's just how my brain was working. This huge anxiety for me in terms of that side, because it, yeah, and so like I just would hide it because I knew that it wasn't like what, you know, all the social media and stuff was showing, and hate it. And so the only position that we could do was military, no, missionary, sorry, missionary, because I could lie down, my tummy would be flat when, you know, lying down, and obviously I didn't have to show my butt. But obviously, I think that probably really made him bored because it was just like the same thing over and over again. But for me, it was just that part of the relationship was just a huge worry. Like I just couldn't enjoy it. But you know what? I'm just thankful that I had that experience. Another thing is that that my self-esteem really impacted my relationship was that, you know, because we were home all the time, we would just watch a lot of movies, and it got to a point where I couldn't even enjoy watching a movie because all I could think about was him admiring all the women on screen and like not admiring me. Like I would just think there was just something so gross about me, like there was nothing beautiful about me, and so I couldn't even watch a movie. um, I would just like pretend, like that's all that was in my head. I was just pretending like I was watching the movie. um, and another thing is that I wouldn't take photos with him because I haven't taken photos in years because of the way I look in photos. If anything, I've taken about 5 photos, and that was only with an app that used a filter so that you sort of look better than you actually are. And but you can tell it's very edited. So yeah, I guess that was a little issue that he hated because he's so social. He wanted to always take photos, but I just couldn't, and I was like, no, I can't. I'm sorry, you just have to understand. So that was sort of like a conflict. Another thing was he would always compliment other women. He would be like, oh, her smile is so nice, her eyes are so nice, or, and I would, like, obviously, yeah, that's normal, but I would take it like there wasn't, like, my smile wasn't good or my eyes weren't nice, and so I'd try to like find ways to make my lips or eyes or whatever it is better. So there was a lot in my head that, yeah, just a lot of negativity that I would cause myself. Um, and obviously that came across as jealousy to him. He would never have understood the deep reasons he would never be able to connect everything. So that would, lead to little fights here and there. What else? I Yes, that was how my self-esteem really affected the relationship. And you know what? I reckon having, social anxiety and the self-esteem, I was able to survive the relationship, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. If anything, it was just a huge worry, constant worry every day, having a partner and having to deal with these two things. I don't know if anyone could relate to this. I would love to hear your thoughts on what I have said, and if anyone can relate to it, please leave a comment. I would love to hear your side of things. I really appreciate you guys watching this. I'm sorry if anything I've said was weird. Um, I know some people might not even think of these things as an issue. Um, it's not an issue. I just wanted to share my experience. Obviously, I know there's billions of other issues out there that are really, really horrible and traumatizing. This is literally just an experience that I wanted to share. So, thank you so much for listening, and I really appreciate your time. I love you all so much, honestly, and thank you, and I hope you're well.